With this video, we will be doing BTS Paved the Way, and you want to help support the channel and the content that we making, please help support our merchandise, our Patreon, our Discord, and our Twitter. And if you didn't hit that like button, make sure you hit that like button. We're trying to get the channel to grow, and the only way we're going to do that if you like, share, and comment on the content. So without further ado, let's get into this BTS Paved the Way. Let's go! Chi Chi, get the yayo.
Get the yayo.
BTS paved the way for K-pop. It is a fact, but also a controversial thing to say. So how is it that there is so much disagreement? First of all, I think we all need to make sure we're talking about the same thing first. Paving the way simply means making it easier for something to happen or someone to do something. Paving the way doesn't mean...
By her definition of paving the way, you can't really deny that what she's saying is a fact, and I like the way that she's breaking it down because where she said it, it was a strong statement, and I'm glad that she had enough awareness to actually break down what she was talking about, which I thought it was dope. And since I did that, I want to shout her out. What's that? Boar City Magazine. Shouts out to her for the content. I'm gonna leave the description, the link to her video in the description.
Inventing something. You are not building the road from scratch. You're just paving a road which is very hard to walk through, making it easier for others to walk behind you. So when we say BTS paved the way, we don't mean that BTS invented K-pop or entered the global music market first. We just mean that BTS made it easier for K-pop acts to enter the global music market. K-pop was a growing interest before BTS, but it was still a very niche thing. Now, however, K-pop is part of conversations about pop culture because BTS are mainstream. It was only after BTS entered the Billboard charts when Billboard created charts only for K-pop. It was only after BTS started winning Western award shows when Western award shows created K-pop categories. It was only after BTS won their first American award for top social artist when K-pop acts opened Twitter accounts because BTS were nominated for their Twitter engagement. It was only after BTS...
I like what she's doing. She's not only making statements, but she's bringing in receipts to the statements. I'm not just saying they did X, Y, and Z. I'm going to show you this too. And here go the proof so you really can't deny it.
Yeah, that's important because you guys just be out here having opinions.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Because everybody has an opinion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But at the same time, when you can actually factually back what you're saying
with receipts.
It's
crazy.
It changes things.
BTS debuted in American television when K-pop acts started being invited to American television. It was only after BTS started getting Grammy nominations when K-pop acts started submitting their songs to the Grammys. It was only after BTS's fandom requested to have their albums on stores like Target when K-pop started selling their albums in stores like Target. It was...
See, so it's not even like, oh, we sitting back and we catching this wave and we trying to be like everybody else. When it really come down to it, they trendsetters.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't done, it hadn't been done, it's done now.
They
and
blaze,
everybody's
they
like,
blaze
well,
the trail.
since you trailblazing, we just gonna ride that wave. You know what I'm saying?
And what stood out to me was when she started this, like it wasn't like this until BTS. I thought she was about to say 2, maybe 3 things. She's on like thing 7, 8, and she's not even done yet, and it's just crazy. And the more she going, the more and more impressive the list become.
It was only after BTS became the biggest group in the world when K-pop groups had the opportunity to sign with American labels. BTS paved the way because without them, K-pop would have remained a niche interest and wouldn't have the global platform they have today thanks to BTS. So what are the arguments against the phrase BTS paved the way? First is that the second generation paved the way. For more context, we need to understand that K-pop has different generations. The first generation came around the 1990s.
I like that she's breaking this down, because I never really heard that term used into Blue Dream Girl. Shout out to her. She was like BTS, but she was like she's second and third generation, and she was putting it. I never
Right.
heard of that term, and I didn't even know what she meant all the ways. But when she just said it here, it stood out to me, and it's dope because I really get to understand it better.
Yeah,
Because of she's about to break it down for us. But go ahead.
yeah, but like what I was saying as you were speaking on the generations, like the fact that the first thing she said was 1990s, I'm like, mind blown.
Yeah.
Like, cause when I think of like my first hearing of K-pop, it was probably like after at least 2010.
Yeah.
Like personally,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? So you're learning more. I'm learning a little something new, and that's interesting.
Yeah. The first time I heard of K-pop was in through him. I never even think I ever heard of the phrase K-pop. If I'm thinking correctly, or it didn't stand out in my brain.
I only heard because I got nieces.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I didn't even hear it. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I found out
But yeah,
probably when we started doing BTS like 2-3 months ago. Probably like 3 months ago. So
Yeah.
like I just learned about K-pop 3 months ago.
To understand that K-pop has different generations. The first generation came around the 1990s and is composed of artists like So Taiji, who basically invented K-pop by introducing American music styles and music equipment to South Korea. And entertainment agencies were inspired by the Japanese idol industry to create the K-pop idol training system, in which singers train for years to debut in a group. The second generation started
What I can say, just watching them right there, like that would have caught my attention. Like even this shit might sound like they was a dope group too, just from what they giving off. And it's saying it was the early '90s. It's catchy and it was definitely different. And it's so different. Me just looking at it, it probably would have caught my attention. Like I would have tuned in because I never seen nothing like that before, and that would have been crazy to see that in the '90s. Like
right.
for real.
And like how she's talking about like they were like idols. Like I find that interesting because I vaguely remember hearing like idols were like almost like selected, special. Because they had talent, you know what I'm saying, and like pushing, so that's like interesting. That they hone that. I think that's cool.
Yeah. Artist development. I think that's what you're talking about. Like they develop their artists. Yeah. Facts.
American music styles and music equipment to South Korea. And entertainment agencies were inspired by the Japanese idol industry to create the K-pop idol training system, in which singers train for years to debut in a group. The second generation started around the early 2000s, and it was when K-pop became known as a niche interest in countries outside of South Korea. The third generation is K-pop slowly entering the global music market. BTS is part of this generation. The fourth generation starts in 2017, after BTS became the most popular group in the world. So the argument is that without the first and second generation of K-pop, BTS wouldn't even exist and be as popular as they are today. However, absolutely no one is denying that these big first and second generation K-pop acts helped BTS become a group, because the members were part of the idol training system, and without it, they wouldn't even have met. But it was not because of the K-pop system that BTS became global artists. If this was the case, other bigger groups at the time with way more resources should have become global instead of them. BTS became global artists because they and their almost bankrupt label were rejected opportunities in the K-pop industry, and they were forced to find their own out-of-the-norm creative ways to promote themselves. The first and second generation helped BTS exist as a group, but they didn't pave the way because they didn't make it easier for BTS or anyone else in K-pop to enter the Western music market. They actually made it more difficult. This is why all the previous K-pop groups who attempted to enter the Western music market failed, and after their failures, no other K-pop group tried to enter too, including BTS. BTS accidentally entered the Western music market because their music and personalities became popular on Twitter and YouTube, a way of promotion that K-pop acts didn't seriously consider before. This should be enough proof that the second generation of K-pop didn't pave the way. They actually destroyed the way because no one dared to walk through that road again. Now, thanks to BTS, the way is paved, and K-pop groups have multiple opportunities to promote in the US. The second argument against is that Psy paved the way.
I get everything she's saying. She's basically saying like they took what other people was doing and they made it even bigger.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? They did it their own way. They opened up different avenues. Like almost like an example I would give, like Soulja Boy was like the first one on YouTube. Artists wasn't on YouTube. But because Soulja Boy was the first one to take over YouTube and start putting his music on YouTube, everyone now, as an artist, put their music on YouTube. And that's what she's saying, that's paving the way. They gave a different direction to do stuff.
I totally get where she's coming from in the sense of their contribution and paving the way. It's just sometimes, like, I think people generally, well, I feel like generally, people should understand that you can't have B without A. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's always going to be something that it's a layer process.
Facts.
And when you're working within that layer process, then something does have to exist. But just because that exists doesn't mean that you have to negate its greatness.
Facts.
For everything else to exist.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if it stands out, it stands out.
Facts.
And we don't have to, like, diminish that to make everything else, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just weird to me. Like,
right. I got you.
Way because Gangnam Style was a global hit, so he made K-pop be known globally. However, that is not paving the way. Gangnam Style was huge, but his musical career didn't see much growth in the Western and global music industry. He was invited.
My man got the hammer pants.
Oh yeah, he brought it back.
I can't not say them about that. That's hard.
Yeah.
Invited to American award shows.
And that song that he did, they did show with him and Sugar, we reacted to it. I actually liked that song. It was a dope song. It was a high energy song. I like high energy and I like high energy beats. And
he brought it on that one.
I like what he brought to the table too. It was tough.
Morning shows, late night shows, and he even had collaborations with Western artists. So he was the first in doing many things, but he didn't make it easier for other K-pop acts to debut in America. The general public knew Gangnam Style, but many didn't even know his name or the country he was from. Psy said, there were even people who thought my name was Gangnam Style. Some people overseas would say, hi Gangnam Style. Some did get to know about K-pop because of him, but since his future singles decreased in popularity amongst the general public, he stopped being invited to all of these shows. He was considered a one-hit wonder and a funny phenomenon that will disappear after some time, and that was what happened. And I know that race.
I see he's about to stop it. You had a thought, so I'm gonna stop it for you.
Yeah, I'm still stuck in my head that this was like he did work with Western artists. I was like, Snoop Dogg is Western artist now.
They talking about America.
Yeah, but like that's when they said it, you know what I mean, correlating with the video. I was in my mind, I was thinking like Snoop Dogg's Western artist, you know, like, but I hear what you're saying, but that's why I'm like, wow, that's interesting perspective.
And I was just thinking when she was just saying, about Psy, she's like correct on that because when we did a reaction, I thought his name was PSY.
I did too.
You get what I'm saying? Because it wasn't.
I thought it was like an acronym.
Yeah, because I didn't know it. So it's like a little bit truth to what she's saying, and I understand why she's saying that. Yeah.
Racism and xenophobia played a big role in his downfall, so I don't think we should blame him at all. It's not that Psy didn't want to pave the way for others, it's that Psy couldn't pave the way. But K-pop fans can be mad about his situation while also not inventing a story of success and paving the way.
And to pave the way, you will have the right team around you. He's just the face. Your team really makes how big you go and the people that's coming up with ideas. So I'm pretty sure a lot of the ideas that BTS had, they wasn't all their ideas. Some came from the team. Right. So it sounded like they got a way better team than Psy had around them. Even like all the dancers that we love, it's coming from a team. It's not just all them. And we know it's very important. You gotta have the right people in place around you to even try to pave a way. So
right, and I think it's also important, like you said, with the team. He could have had a powerful collective, but the driving force has to be the artists themselves. You know what I'm saying? And as powerful as it is, you got a lot of creative minds there because we've done enough research as we still look into them to see like everybody brings something. This is writers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's different.
Yeah, a lot different.
Crediting BTS, the actual ones who paved the way, especially when BTS in 2017 also faced similar hardships and were also considered a weird phenomenon that will disappear after some time.
Put a hand down. Freaking miracle. Isn't that funny?
The difference.
What do they have?
That was kind of messed up.
What
that
did it
was
mean?
all the way messed up.
Put a hand
What do they mean? Put your hand down because they waving?
down. And a freaking miracle.
Like he was saying hi.
That's mad rude. You don't
It's
gotta talk to
unnecessary.
people like that. Like that's crazy to see that because
Right.
I'm just thinking if that was me and somebody talking to me like that, that's like you don't. Why did you have to say it like that?
Yeah, that's really messed up. And this is supposed to be at, you know what I'm saying? And that's how it ends up looking.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's like you're a guest somewhere, you know what I'm saying, that you deserve and earn to be,
Mm-hmm.
and then you treat it like nothing, because that'll be the representation of everybody, that one
Yeah.
person who said something ignorant.
Yeah, and it's like the statement you made. You said, "Put your hand down. This is freaking America." So you have enough common sense. Like whatever you think they doing wrong, they don't even know that they're doing it wrong.
Right.
So you know that, and you're still talking crazy, knowing they don't know. It's like we went to Korea right now. It's gonna be like we're gonna be doing something that we probably shouldn't be doing, but we don't know. And I'm pretty sure. Why would you talk to me about something that I don't know? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's crazy.
Put a hand down. And a freaking miracle. Isn't that funny?
The difference is that they kept growing because they were
Then he said, "Isn't that funny?" Like,
Right.
what was funny? I still don't get it.
But I'm glad that, you know, like everybody has a mind of their own, and they're able to look and read and just see that everybody ain't the same. Because when you see stuff like that, man, it's just like,
And that's your first experience, like over here. And you
right.
like,
That's what makes it even.
you would think like everyone's like that, but I know they had enough experience to know like everyone's not like that. But for your first time, you're like, this how they are over here?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Smack in
facts.
the face.
actually gaining fans, and these fans help BTS win awards, perform on TV, sell their albums in American stores.
And that thought just still in my mind. I'm just gonna say this. That's why you never talk to nobody crazy, because at that time they was probably looking at them as nobodies. It's like you gotta be careful who you talking to and how you talking to them, because you never know who they's gonna become. Just because people not there right now, people try to talk to you crazy. But in a couple of years, you could blow up, and then it's like you look now. I'm pretty sure now when he watched this, he'd be like, "Why did I say that?"
Why did I say that?
Because he didn't know that they was gonna become what they was become. That's why you gotta watch how you talk to people.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying, and to just touch on that, like, just generally, if people just treat people that way anyway, you know what I
Right.
mean?
Facts.
But because it's a lot of things are driven by the coin,
Mm-hmm.
you run into those situations.
Yeah, facts.
Stores and sell out stadiums. This made K-pop be known by the general public and actually be part of the American music industry, not just a funny guest. So Psy is the closer BTS can get of a Korean senior, but he didn't really experience BTS's level of popularity as artist, and he doesn't really know what it's like to help your country's music industry be part of pop culture conversations. BTS had to and did figure out by themselves how to stay in the worldwide music industry.
To be fair for him, because she was saying that, I was thinking, because me and you was talking about this. It's like when you in the group, people like certain members of the group. You know what I'm saying? Some people are Jimin fans, some people are RM fans, some people are J-Hope fans, some people are August fans. It's only him, so people only got to be a fan of him. Unless it was a group, then people get more chance. So give you more chances to be as bigger because it's more people in the group, and it's more people that people can like of different members in the group as a whole.
Right, and it does. You know, because the more colors you have in the crayon box,
Yeah.
the better the picture.
Yeah. So I just want to say that just to be fair to him.
And that's how they paved the way for others. They made the way easier to walk through, and they can give advice on how to do it, since it's a road they paved by themselves. The third argument against is that BTS only paved the way for the American music market, and that we shouldn't prioritize their American achievements when other countries exist. I think this argument comes from people with little knowledge in the music industry. Whether we like it or not, the American music industry is the biggest music market in the world. Its value is more than 2 times bigger than Japan's, the second biggest music market. And not only that, but unlike other countries, America creates a chain reaction. The biggest artists in the United States have high chances to also be big in other countries, including Japan and the other big markets. But the biggest artists in Japan are big in Japan only. Of course, there are a few exceptions.
That's a fact. I can't even lie. That's a fact. And what all artists do for all countries, they all want to break in the United States. Like they like in a lot of different countries, they don't feel like they made it big until they make it big in the United States. I don't know why that is, but that is like I almost feel like that's a pressure that other artists have that's in different countries, and it'd be like. I just know that from being a reactor because we do stuff from around the world. When they see it on their channel, they'd be like, "Oh, this person blowing up. They're getting played in America." You get what I'm saying?
Right,
So
right.
I know what they're saying is true.
But even those exceptions don't change the fact that you won't listen to the biggest artists from Japan, Germany, and France, in the US, in Latin America, or in every Asian country. The only music market that can do this is the one of the United States. This is why Billboard has two global charts, a global chart which includes the US and other global chart which excludes the US, because the United States carries the global music industry numbers. The funny thing is that BTS charts.
I never knew that was the reason why they was doing this, and I want to say she's doing a good job breaking all this stuff
Breaking
down.
everything
I feel
down.
like I'm just learning so much just watching this and the information she's giving it. It's not even just about giving the information; it's how she presenting it. It's not boring. You don't feel like you're in school getting a lecture. Like she's really good
She's
at
really
what
good,
she's doing.
especially with like her visual
Presentation.
I'm really impressed because it's not a lot of like, it's not coming up too fast. It's not forcing you to have to search through a lot of things. It's just clear and concise, and I like that.
Yeah, she got talent.
Well in both the global charts including the US and the global charts excluding the US. This is why BTS paved the way not only for the American music market, but also for the global music market. BTS is huge in all of these countries, not just South Korea and the United States. They are the biggest artists.
And I can say that's a fact. And when I seen this, the first thing I thought of was our last reaction videos. We were just looking at the comments. In the comment section, I was pointing out to you, it was all different. What am I trying to say? It was all different languages in the comment section.
Right.
No other thing no other music we react to, we be seeing languages from other different countries. It's just crazy to see. When I was pointing out to you that you could tell they're big because of languages that's coming in the comment section.
Right.
Let you know how far the reach is
Yeah,
of
it's
BTS.
getting out there. Yeah.
It's crazy.
And the fact that another thing that I find interesting, that they just cross over all time zones.
Right.
So it's like always a great time to.
Facts. Yeah, that's like the first thing I noticed. Because when we was doing UK stuff, we know UK is 5 hours time zone in front of us, so we would have to drop them videos at a certain time. But like BTS, you almost drop it at any time because they have fans in all time zones. It really,
It's different.
yeah.
Not group, artists. In Japan's Spotify, they sold out Wembley Stadium twice in the UK. They are the only Korean act to have #1 albums in Germany. They're the only Korean group to sell out Stade de France. And this also happens in other countries with smaller music markets. It was only after BTS performed in Saudi Arabia when K-pop groups decided to also perform in Saudi Arabia. BTS paved the way for K-pop to have some visibility in every country of the world. Thanks to them, K-pop has grown everywhere. And there are now K-pop festivals around the world, and K-pop albums are more easily distributed everywhere.
We're truly honored to be on this stage with such amazing, tremendous artists right over here.
Another argument against is that
It's like when she just said that, it just made me think of how our channel went.
Right.
We first met B2S and we liked what they had going on so much. We wanted to check out other stuff in K-pop to see was the other stuff that sounded like this, the dancing was like this. So
Right.
it made us want to check out more of K-pop just for what we was learning from
Right.
them.
You know, because it's kind of like, well, for me anyway, I know when it comes to music, it's like a certain level of purity, and like to really appreciate anything, I gotta kind of like dive into it a little bit.
Yeah.
So I can't just be like, oh, let me just listen to these guys. I gotta kind of search
Have something to
around
compare it to.
Yeah. Yeah.
You gotta have something to compare it to. And that's what another reason, I'm glad you brought that up. That was another reason that we started doing other stuff in K-pop. And then it make you appreciate them even more because you see, I don't want to be rude, but other people just not coming close to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, And
the thing I like about them that I think is unique is like when I look through what I've seen in K-pop so far, everybody kind of picks a lane, like boom, 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 boom. But when I look at their journey, they kind of like was like, we can do all of this. Just put us on.
Facts.
Because they did the rap. You see the dancing all the time. You know what I'm saying? Now they can do the love songs. They got the like boy band type thing going now. Like it's they show you they can do everything. They got range.
It's crazy.
Each group has paved their own way, and what people say about this is that K-pop idols worked very hard on passing all the auditions they had as part of the idol training system, and they practice.
Yeah, I mean what I'm talking about.
It's crazy. Like they dancing is that always had me from the rip. Even when we did the first August D video, and it was like almost like a Chinese movie. I can't remember the name off the top of my head. It was almost like a Chinese movie, and the dancing they had in there and the visuals, it was just like crazy. Like, and it's making me think of that.
Is that each group has paved their own way, and what people say about this is that K-pop idols worked very hard on passing all the auditions they had as part of the idol training system, and they practiced a lot to strengthen their talents and get their achievements. Again, that is not paving the way. Paving the way is making it easier for others to do something. So if I say XYZ group paved their own way, I'm saying XYZ group made it easier for themselves to be known in the global music industry. And this is just not true, because the road is already paved. So how did they make it easier for themselves and others? I could argue the complete opposite. I could say that BTS were the only ones who paved their own way, and this has to do with BTS's musical influences and hardships. If you really want to attribute BTS's path to someone else, attribute it to the artists that actually inspired their music, art, and movement, which is black music, genres like hip-hop and R&B, dance styles like breakdance, legendary rappers and singers who take pride in writing their own songs.
That's crazy. That she brought it up, and what's also crazy, this is a video I just was talking about when I said the August D video, and it came up, and with this documentary, I'm learning so much. Like, it's just
Wale?
Huh?
I saw Wale somewhere.
No, it's about to come once I hit play again.
Okay.
Yeah, the August D video, but I am learning a lot from this.
Like breakdance, legendary rappers and
right
singers who take pride in writing their own songs, who like talking about their personal struggles and experiences. This is not to say that K-pop hasn't also been inspired by black music. K-pop may sound and look like black music, but the purpose of the genres got lost. With some exceptions, of course, K-pop groups are not inspired by these genres anymore. They don't pay for the samples they use, and they don't recognize the musicians who are actually composing their music. They just want the aesthetic. This is why there are many K-pop rappers wanting to look like Rihanna, but not even knowing what genre she does. On the other hand, BTS have been actual fans of hip-hop artists since they were kids, and they were actually inspired by them. This is why they've always paid homage to their influences by mentioning their idols in songs, paying for the samples they use, and crediting them.
It's like this, right? Anything that anyone pick up, a mic, a basketball, a football, anything, you are inspired by someone to do it. Even doing reactions, I was inspired by someone to start doing reactions. We all find inspiration from someone. I know it's right now, it's somebody watching AI moves and Steph Curry shots, and everyone get the inspiration from somewhere. You see someone else do it, and it makes it, you believe that it's possible that you could do it because you see them doing it.
Right.
Showing their pictures in concerts, and even making documentaries featuring them and their voices. All of this while also prioritizing their own message, lyricism, and creative ways. BTS took the basics of these genres to express their own voices and create their own unique path in the music industry.
And that I totally respect from an artist's perspective, because it's always important to, like you said, know where your inspiration comes from, so you're just not wandering aimlessly out there. But at the same time, and even then giving respect to what inspires you, knowing who you are, and having your own unique thing. Whatever that thing is, you have it and it's yours. And and they do a good job of that.
Now that you brought me up and brought that up and you had me thinking, you play the saxophone. Who inspired you to play the saxophone?
Actually, it was a collective of things. I always liked jazz music, but the '80s, being an '80s baby, one of the first songs, "Careless Whispers," George Michael's. I just thought it was dope, and then it was just a build on, and then I'm listening to Curtis Mayfield and Charlie Parker, and it just kept building, and it's something that I just fell in love with, and it'll be with me to the day I die.
Yeah, I never asked you that, but when we was talking, the thought came up, and I'm glad now I know that. That's dope.
This is how you pave your own way. BTS didn't have the platform, but they had the talent, determination, creativity, and real love for music. For a K-pop group to pave their own way, they will have to walk through a path they paved by themselves. And that's not what they're doing. They only take the opportunities that BTS gave them. Finally, the last argument against the idea that BTS paved the way is that they actually opened the door and closed it, or that they paved the way for themselves and then closed the road for everyone else. They say this is because BTS popularity is so big that no matter how hard others try, K-pop acts will always be in the shadows of BTS. And I believe that can be true, but only when you treat the road as a way to instant BTS level of success. The road BTS paved is not a road to be BTS. It's a road to have visibility in the global music market, but you still need to work hard to create your own artistic identity. The road is paved, but you still need to run. In other words,
for other groups that feel like that, you shouldn't feel like that. It's always going to come down to one thing: talent.
Yeah.
They stand out because of their talent, and if you're not standing out, you're probably not that talented. Why are you not standing out?
Right. And it's kind of like, well, I was just speaking about in having your own thing. When you're looking for a thing, that means you don't just have it. Now, you can hone things, you know what I'm saying? But, like, to have something special is something special.
Right. Yeah, it's be original.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You could take what other people doing, but be original with it and find something and make something great out of it. And that's what it all comes down to. Like, music is a feel thing. So if it just feel good and look good, people are going to gravitate towards it.
K-pop now has visibility in the Western music industry because K-pop groups now get invited to American TV and award shows. They now have American tours and albums on Target shelves. But they still need to make themselves different from BTS because the best at being BTS are BTS. And no...
We were just saying that. You gotta be original. You can't try to copy what they doing. And it's like, if you do, people are gonna smell it a mile away. So it's best just to do your own thing and find out how to be great at what you do, and just let them have their own lane, because you're not gonna be able to compete in that lane. So like what you said in the other video, you gotta kind of like merge into another lane. Like, it still be K-pop, but you know what I'm saying?
Right. Like when I know when I was coming up, you know what I'm saying? Like people would call that biting, or like trying to steal somebody's style, you jacking.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now it's like that's everybody doing it.
Yeah, but it's like, my thing is this: why would I want to see the clone of something when I could just watch the original?
Right.
Or
something expanding or something. You know, a transcription is not needed.
Right, at all.
No matter how hard K-pop tries, they won't beat them. This is why the K-pop group's attempts of being recognized as the next BTS try so hard to have the exact same achievements BTS had. They want to get the exact same records. And again, that is treating the road as a way to BTS's level of popularity, not as an opportunity to have visibility in the global music market. But there are some who do understand what this new road BTS gave them is about.
They paved the way. Yeah.
So you had the thought, get it out.
Now, at the same time, because I am enjoying this perspective, this video perspective. However, but at the same time, I don't want to just take this as the definitive. Now, numbers don't lie. I can agree with all of that, but I don't want to just run with an opinion either, because you have to also think about the other artists as well. They do put their work, their hard work, sweat and tears into things. And I'm sure, I know me as an artist, I don't want somebody saying, oh, you just take, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it does make a lot of sense, and it does clear up a lot of things looking at the numbers and then being able to see similarities when they're pointed out. Like, oh yeah, I didn't know, I wouldn't have known that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just like listening to this and thinking about inspiration. I just taking it from my own experiences, and like I could say, like I got inspired by DJ Ghost as far as doing reactions. But he inspired me, but my own thing. I'm not trying to copy the man. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I take what he brought to the game and I'm trying to expand on it. I'm not trying to be him. I'm being me, but inspired by him. And that's what other artists got to do. Be yourself, but be inspired by BTS. Stop trying to compare your records to them and all that. Be what you are and let it just be what it is. And it's nothing wrong with that, because they set the bar so high, it's going to be hard to touch that. So it's just be like, just be cool with, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's perfectly fine to be like, yo, that's dope, and I like that. I wouldn't mind doing something similar, but I'm doing this.
Right. There's nothing wrong with that.
You have to admit, they paved the way.
The majority of K-pop acts don't really say anything at all about BTS's popularity and the opportunities they gave them. It should be obvious, but they act like BTS doesn't exist, or like they are just another K-pop group. This has something to do with their labels controlling them and their image. However, there are some who do admit that BTS paved the way for them, and the ones who say it simply take the opportunity that BTS gave them, say thank you, and move on with their careers. They know that competing against BTS is useless, so they do their best to use the global platform BTS gave them to showcase their talents. Starting with the founder of K-pop, Seo Taiji. 25 years had to pass for Seo Taiji to recognize another socially conscious Korean artist he could pass the torch to and proclaim as his successor. In 2017, Seo Taiji asked BTS to remake his classic Come Back Home and told them, "This is your generation now." Another popular group from the first generation is Shinhwa. When talking about Korean
When they go with this music, everyone has their time. You get what I'm saying? If you're not doing what you're supposed to do right now, it's just not your time.
That's it.
It's just really that simple. Like right now is their time, and you just have to accept that.
Yeah.
But like when I'm thinking about it and I'm listening to it, it's like at one point it was Michael Jordan league, then it became Kobe Bryant's league. Right now it's LeBron league. When he retires, it's gonna be someone else's league, and that's how it goes.
That's how it goes.
You feel me? Even like that with music, like you could go through this person was hot, and you could go like it went from like Ja Rule then to 50 Cent, then after 50 Cent it was Kanye, then it was Drake, then it was Dirk. You know what I'm saying? It just
like everything.
people have
it's
their
like
time.
watching football, and you see everybody was big and strong, and then here comes Mike Vick, and now you need fast guys out there. Now you
it's
need
always
faster
changing.
receivers.
Yeah.
It's all, everything. It breathes. It evolves.
Someone's always gonna come change the game. Like Steph Curry came and changed the game. Before it was just all post up going to the lane. Steph Curry came. Now everyone shoots from half court like it's nothing.
Korean entertainment agencies and the difficulty in balancing promotions in Korea and in the US, a member from Shinhwa said,
물론 이런 모든 고정관념을 깬 게 저는 BTS라고 봐요. 그래서 이제 저도 생각이 좀 바뀌고 있긴 한데 그래도 BTS한테 조금 이제 원하는 거. 그래도 한국 팬들을 가끔 생각을 해주셔서.
Rain, another singer from the first generation, appeared on a show where the interviewer said that the BTS promoted in the US thanks to Rain, but he responded, "They became successful because they worked really hard on their own. It has nothing to do with me." Some K-pop fans say that the second generation paved the way, including groups like Wonder Girls. But this was what Sungmi from Wonder Girls said in 2019. In an interview she had for Billboard, a K-pop journalist tried to credit this group for the increased global popularity of K-pop. The interviewer said, "It's partially because of the groundwork laid by you and Wonder Girls." But Sungmi responded, "No, BTS." Yubin, another member from Wonder Girls, also said that since they also promoted in the American music industry, she feels more sympathy and pride for BTS because it was really difficult when
The way I think about that is they all helped. They all helped. You know what I'm saying? Everyone helped.
It's literally
why they gotta. Everyone helped.
you climbing.
You know?
You climbing.
Yes.
Rung by rung.
Yes.
You gotta get up a ladder.
Everyone helped in some way, even if it was a little bit. They helped.
Wonder Girls tried to enter that industry. After Beast, a second-generation group, was noticed in a foreign country, someone asked if it was because of K-pop, but a member of the group responded, "No, thanks to BTS. K-pop singer Ailee also said, "We K-pop artists are really proud of them because we know how hard it is to make it in the industry. The fact that they opened up these doors and cleared the way for us, it's a huge hope for us." Singling out BTS, Psy said BTS achieved Gangnam Style's unfulfilled dreams since they got permanence and persistence, as well as 6 #1 songs in the US, while Psy's highest peak was #2. Moving on to the third generation, the
When I see a statement like that, it tells me you're not a hater. And you could give props to other people, just like I did with DJ Ghost when I said that's where the inspiration came from. Like a lot of reactors they get in the game and they'll never tell you who inspired them. I'm not a hater. I can tell you, DJ Ghost, he inspired me. Like from the rip, I told you that. Like that's where it came from. That's where I got inspired to do this. And it takes a real person to be able to say that or give shine to someone else. I didn't have to give him shine, but I don't have a problem because giving him shine, I don't feel like it take any shine away from me.
Right. And actually, it's important, like the things that we think about, like everybody didn't think, like I can remember, just like I was watching Jordan, I can remember listening to New York Undercover come on and hearing that soprano saxophone.
Yeah.
That's like ingrained in my head.
Right.
And then inevitably, it's around the time I started playing soprano saxophone. It's like 27 years later.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's something that if you don't talk about it or if people don't talk about it, it'll just evaporate.
Yeah.
Because that's how time. So it's important to just throw them little things out,
Like
them little nuggets. Somebody is going to watch this video and going to look, hopefully.
Yeah. I mean, and my goal is just like DJ Ghost inspired me, and I could sit here and say that. My goal is for one day somebody to be like, Trey inspired me, just like I said about DJ Ghost. It's like a gift that keeps giving. Someone's going to see me doing what I'm doing, and they're going to get inspired by it, and that's what the way the game go. I'm pretty sure a bunch of people was inspired by DJ Ghost. You feel what I'm saying? And I think he should get a lot of credit for what he did because he showed people a way to do stuff just like BTS did, and it's... I'm just using it as an analogy from where I stand at and what I'm doing.
K-pop group Card said that the reason why they are receiving such a pleasant response overseas is because their sunbase or seniors, BTS, have paved the way really well. One member also said, "There's so many things we can learn from them, so we're looking towards them with respect. I feel that BTS has created a genre of their very own." Members from Astro, SF9, and 17 had also said that they have a lot to learn from BTS, referencing how BTS's achievements in the West helped them. The group Big Ten said, "Back then, there was no precedent like this. It was something that could only be imagined. BTS went to the Billboard Music Awards and achieved a great result. So we thought, wow, it's something that's actually possible. It seems to have made us work a bit harder." A member from...
I like that. And like, cause it's like, you don't know what's possible until you see someone do it.
Right.
Like I seen DJ Ghost have almost 3 million subscribers, so I know it's possible. You get what I'm saying? And it's like when you see somebody doing that, you like, I could do it too. So that's kind of how they paved the way because they see what they did, and other people can be inspired to like, if they did it, we could do it too. And that's what the game is about.
And sometimes, like I know, like sometimes it just be the thought. Like the thought of the, for me, the thought of the ability to create. Like unbridled, unrestricted creation is like,
right. Yeah.
And to see something dope and be like, that's amazing, but you know what? I can come up with something in here that like it's
the way I look at it is, if you're gonna take someone ideas or be inspired with them, add on to it. Exactly. And what I mean by that, I got inspired by DJ Ghost. DJ Ghost don't do Spanish music. Exactly. DJ Ghost don't do UK music. Exactly. DJ Ghost don't do K-pop. Exactly. So I took what he was doing and I expanded on it. Exactly. And that's what we saying on BTS. Take everything they open and expand on it. Don't try to be them. That's pointless. Expand on it. I don't try to be DJ Ghost. It's pointless.
It's pointless.
Expand on it.
Right.
G-Idol said, "Since BTS did help and introduce so many people to so many artists, we're influenced by them too. We would like to also strive for a similar path." A member from Monsta X said, "They really paved the way for us and other K-pop acts. They made way for us to participate in the United States music industry. I don't know if we'd be able to do the things we're doing right now without them." Another member said, "BTS paved the way, so I think it's been a little smoother for us." A member from Luna said, "We got a lot of attention only because of our Sunbenims BTS, who paved the way for K-pop.
BTS.
BTS.
Yes,
China map.
I would say they definitely opened up the gate for everybody in the K-pop. I would say
They're legends. They paved the way. You have to admit, they paved the way.
I just like that she's showing a lot of artists, giving them their props, because a lot of artists don't want to give shine to other people because I feel like it takes from them. And I'm glad like those artists that she's showing, no, it doesn't take anything from your talent,
Right.
just by shouting out someone else. And I think that was dope, and I actually like to see that.
Anyway, mad respect to BTS.
진짜 사실 미국 쪽에는 저희가 이렇게 K-팝이 인기가 있어질 거라고 생각을 못했어요. 근데 이렇게 이제 방탄소년단 선배님들께서 먼저 이렇게 열어주셔가지고 저희도 조금 더 알릴 수 있는 기회가 되지 않을까 싶어서 되게 감사하고 저희도 더 미국 활동을 해보고 싶다는 생각도 하게 됐어요.
Helena Kosinski, the vice president at Nielsen, an information and data measurement firm, said BTS opened the floodgates for K-pop and that BTS makes K-pop become a mainstream trend on the global market. South Korea's
See, and like that, for instance, she say Nielsen, like that's not an opinion. That's like, okay, we're going to gather this data and this is what it's saying.
Because it's like, I'm just thinking like from my experience, from like K-pop, BTS was so dope. It just made me want to check out more of K-pop because what I was seeing from them, from the dances and all that. And it's just, yes, it's dope to see, and it's dope to see people are shouting them out. And when I was also thinking, when people start shouting you out like that, you're now in legend status.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They legends now.
It's different because you guys just really give respect where it's due.
Right. Yeah.
culture minister praised BTS for providing a way forward to K-pop. The vice president and chief operating officer of the Korea Creative Content Agency stated K-pop has skyrocketed since BTS's popularity surged, creating jobs not only for BTS and their team but other K-pop idols as well. And the then president of South Korea, Moon Jae-in, said that BTS are the pride and future of South Korean culture and named them as the special presidential envoy for future generations and culture. Also, when talking about innovative strategies to communicate directly with fans, he said BTS paved the way. So there are definitely a lot of K-pop acts who give BTS their credit, but like I said, there are many who don't. These are usually K-pop acts being pushed to be the next BTS. And what they like to do is mention goals like Billboard and Grammys, but only crediting second-generation groups as their inspiration, or even saying that they are the ones paving the way for others.
We had other artists that's been going overseas and doing what we're doing, so I guess we grew up watching them, thinking, you know, we wish to be the group that opens up the door for more
other foreign artists
to spread their music.
But still, the majority mention other groups that inspire their goals and don't address BTS at all, even when these goals were only achieved by BTS. So why is it so difficult to accept it?
방탄소년단.
It's difficult to accept because there's a lot of haters in this world.
Right. But then sometimes it's not always hate, because that's why I was conflicted, but I wanted to hear her finish her thought.
Right.
But like, as an artist, sometimes it's not necessarily hating, it's just, I don't know how someone can look themselves in the mirror and not have the goal to achieve being the best.
All right. Why are you wasting your time?
Right. Or why do you do it? Yeah, exactly. Why are you wasting time? Why do you even... Yeah.
All right. If you don't want to be the best.
Honestly,
right.
It's crazy you said, so be the best, because now I'm tapping back into my music mind. There was a sign that used to hang in my high school door in our band, and we did a lot of winning, all types of Rose Bowl, Orange Bowl. But to get to it, it said, we have but one ambition, to be the best.
Right.
What else is there? It's crazy how something like that, like 27 years later, is in your head. But it's still like the same thing. Like, why do it?
And it's like, and be original. It's like, our channel is original. There's not another channel in all of YouTube that you could go to and get all the different stuff that we play. it's original. We're not copying no one's model or nothing
At all.
but we're laying down a blueprint to be copied.
And you guys are really getting a reaction video. This is just conversation.
Yeah, it's like we really want to show people like broaden the horizon. That's how we found B2S. We didn't stay in one box. If we would have stayed in just one box, we would never have found this music.
Right.
So it's like what we're doing is just trying to make what DJ Ghost did and just take it to the next level. So whoever come after us can take whatever we're doing and take it to the next level. And that's what the game's about.
방탄소년단.
BTS.
I don't really like the "they are just jealous" response because it can be seen as a lazy response. But in this case, I really believe it all comes down to that one reason: jealousy. In the case of K-pop fans, the majority of the ones who deny that BTS paved the way were fans of the second generation of K-pop, who feel that saying that BTS paved the way for K-pop erases the second generation's achievements. And like I said, as hurtful as it is, BTS gave K-pop opportunities that the first and second generation couldn't. But the jealousy also comes from K-pop groups and labels who have been privileged their entire careers. No matter how much of a mess the group is, the groups on the big three are guaranteed to have a successful career. This is why the biggest groups before BTS were always from the big three. Nowadays, the groups from the big three have the same impact as they had before BTS's global popularity, but they are nothing in the global music market when compared to BTS. And this hurts the big three even more because BTS and their label used to be nobodies compared to these agencies. Even until this day, the three
That's dope to see. Like where
BTS and their label used to be nobody.
I like to see that, like where they started from, and it just made me think about even where we started from up until now.
Right.
It's been a lot of growth with everything, and when I see that, it just like that's
a progressive process.
That's where all the dream always start from. That's what the dream always gonna look like at first, because it's just a dream. The money's not coming in from a dream. It's just a dream. And when I see that, I get inspired by that. Just like with like I was like DJ Vlad. Like when I had my first Trey TV channel, it was in my bedroom. And it like DJ Vlad, when he first started his first channel, it started in his bedroom. When Amazon first started the bookstore, it started in the garage. So it just like me knowing that, I like to see stuff like that because I know that's where it starts from, and then it goes bigger. And it's like even with this, like where it started from when it's grown, I'm just interested to see where it's gonna go in the future, and I think that's dope.
Compared to these agencies. Even until this day, the three biggest K-pop labels have a crazy amount of power in the Korean entertainment industry. They basically run most K-pop platforms, TV networks, and media in general, giving their K-pop groups the advantage of having more screen time, more positive reviews, more news coverage about them. This is why BTS, even with all the money they've contributed to their label and South Korea's economy, are still to this day being banned, lied about, and sabotaged by the industry. It's not just about money. It's about power. BTS and therefore HYBE have a lot of money, but they don't have the power. They don't have connections with Korean TV networks and media like these other Korean entertainment agencies do. BTS are the big...
See, that's crazy. I thought they would have them connections, and it's just crazy to hear that. Because I have BTS, I thought they would have every connection that needed to be had, but I mean, I just learned something new, and I think that was
KBS too.
Yeah.
Biggest group in the world, but the news cover their achievements the least amount of times they can because it doesn't benefit them.
정도 보도가 돼요. 그러면 우리가 흔히 알고 있는 소위 대형 기획사의 아이돌이 그것보다 사실은 못 미치는 어떤 활약을 보였을 때 미디어에 보도되는 양이나 그 커버되는 범위를 보시면 확연히 차이가 납니다. 재밌는 부분이고
실제 그렇구나.
실제로 그렇다는 것이 저도 이제 알게 됐어요. 그런 것들이 이미 팬들 사이에서는 잘 알려져 있고 이번 그래미 같은 경우 어떻게 들어가냐면 주요 부문에서 등극에 실패했다라고 한다든지 대체적으로 그런 경향이
아무리 마이너 장르라도 그래미 후보에 올랐다고 하지.
So K-pop labels and sometimes their K-pop groups refuse to accept that BTS paved the way because they couldn't, even when they had all the power and money from the start to do it. They are jealous that 7 nobodies from a nobody agency grew bigger than them, so they refuse to accept reality. This attitude from K-pop groups is also reflected in the way it's become harder for BTS to find friendly people in the industry.
근데 이제 그때부터 이제 친구도 없고 이러다 보니까
친구가 없어요.
네. 핸드폰이 이 전화번호 목록을 찾아보면 연예인 친구가 10명이 안 돼요.
진짜?
대부분 사람들도 이제 저희 부담스럽다고 보통 친구로도 잘 안 놀아주더라고요.
진짜?
And you can show me all the K-pop groups on the big three.
I just like that how he's expressing that emotion, because you wouldn't think it was like that. I mean, I can understand it now that he says it, because it's a phrase that popped in my head. It's like lonely at the top, and that's what was going through my head as he was saying that, which is crazy.
Interacting with BTS, but almost none of these compilations feature interactions with BTS after the real global massive success. It used to be fun when BTS were nobodies or just the biggest in K-pop, but now that BTS is the biggest group in the world, K-pop labels envy that, and they don't want their groups to interact or even mention them. This is why BTS's friends from the industry are mostly indie artists who are not trying to compete against BTS. I really don't like the way it has become.
Yo, this dance session is crazy. Like, the footwork is crazy.
I really don't like the way it has become controversial to say that BTS paved the way, because if you really think about it, it's not that big of a deal. The phrase doesn't imply that BTS are better than every other K-pop group, and although I actually believe they are the best group ever, you can think the complete opposite and still be able to agree with me, because the phrase only means that BTS gave opportunities for K-pop to be recognized globally. So learn a little from BTS and pay tribute to the ones who help you be where you are today. And if you don't want to mention them at all, that's also fine. Just don't be delusional and jealous. K-pop fans, as well as K-pop labels and groups, shouldn't be hurt by the fact that BTS paved the way. It's not an insult to your group. It's a sea full of opportunities to be seen and recognized in the worldwide platform BTS created.
Straight TV. Let's get it.
This is Lamar Wilson here, representing Ghetto Action News Network _ all lower cases,
no spaces.
You can find us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
All that.
I'm gonna get right down to it. This fan perspective here was very interesting. You can tell they were very opinionated. However, they did match a lot of their opinion with statistical facts. and I was impressed by that. When you stick to the numbers, it was very impressive, and they make a very valid, visible point that can't be denied. At the same time, I was like, I respect the fandom, I do, and I just like learning a little bit more about these guys each time around, because it's just always another nugget, and I thought this was pretty cool. What do you think?
I like the way she broke everything down. I think she did a real good job on breaking it down, not being overly biased. Even though she is a BTS fan, you couldn't really argue with her arguments in the way she presented the information, because I always say it's not what you say, it's how you say it, and the way she said it was really hard to combat it.
It was like,
even if you're not a fan of BTS, it's hard to go against what she said, and I thought it was dope. Everything she put together visually, her talking, it was a real great piece that she put together for us so we could react to it, and I learned a lot, and that was dope. And if you didn't hit that like button, make sure you hit the like button. If you didn't hit the subscribe button, hit the subscribe button. If you didn't go to our Discord, go to our Discord. We built it up. It's nice. It's just for Army. Well, mostly for Army. Check out what we got going on. We got a lot of Army in there chatting every day. They got stuff for you to post pets, talk to each other, make recommendations for us so we could react to it.
Ideas.
It's a lot going on.
A lot of people to meet and interact is cool. That's what it's all about.
Our Twitter, We got that up and running. That's majority of BTS. So just check it out. See what we got going
And
on.
don't just look at it, share it.
Yes. I'm glad that you said that. And the merchandise we got going on, we just got like a lot going on. And it's only become more and more as we go to more platforms. We just want to keep growing and expanding. And that's just what we on right now.
That's it.